John Fredericks. He's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla Wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh yeah,
for entertainment purposes only.
Welcome to the Godzilla Wins Saturday show. Happy to bring you this show on December 20th, 2025, just 5 days before Christmas and the holidays. My name is Mitch Rogers. Here today is John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. We're going to break down pretty much most of college football and all of NFL football. We're going to run down the games, give you our picks, break them down as well. We had the college football playoffs start last night. Pretty exciting matchup between Alabama and Oklahoma. And then the second hour, we'll move on to NFL football, go through all those picks. Want to thank our sponsors. We're brought to you by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com and WV The Torch. And also, we are a gambling show. So remember, it's for entertainment purposes only. 1-800-GAMBLER is a hotline that anybody can call. Also, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. That's in Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline-ma.org in Massachusetts. Call 877-G HOPE-NY-text HOPE-NY 467-369-NY. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Kansas and New Hampshire, ccpg.org in Connecticut, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa, or visit opgr.org in Oregon. Well, I am super excited. This is one of the best weekends of football that you can have. The college football playoff provides on the weekend before Christmas some of the best games that you're going to get. We have a full slate of games today. We had the college football playoff start yesterday with Oklahoma and Alabama. And let's just start right there. Alabama, again, starts the game down. They were down 17-0. And all of a sudden, one touchdown, one punt block, just a pick six. Everything starts just falling into place for Alabama. And all of a sudden, in about a 15-minute span in real time, you had Alabama winning or leading that game and leading them to victory. So all the Notre Dames and everybody that's boo-hooing about the SEC with 3 lost teams in there. John, I said roll tide all week long. I kept we have so many text messages with our group chat. We have like 5 different ones with like all the same people, but we were roll tiding. I was roll tiding all the way down. John, are you surprised after you've seen them play Oklahoma before? We've seen them lose. We've seen them go down to Oklahoma and not come back before. This comeback was pretty impressive, and what a time to do it, right?
Well, I bet Oklahoma. And when they were up 17-0 and Alabama didn't have a first down and it was 3rd and 5, I thought I was feeling pretty good in that game. Never really expected the outcome of it. I thought, look, there was a lot of things. Certainly the fumbled punt started it, the pick six return, a couple of good plays by Alabama receivers that, got him a touchdown, got him back in the game 17-7. But it was 17-7. Oklahoma had the ball. They were driving again. And their quarterback, I forget, John something. I mean, he had an easy first down. He would have probably got 20 yards, saw an open guy for a touchdown. The guy dropped it. Score should have been 24-7. Changes the game. Changes the whole game. You don't get the pick six and things of that nature. But look, at the end of the day, it's a 4-quarter game, not a quarter and a third. And that's basically what happened. Once Alabama started to roll, they did that. And a couple of key stops that Oklahoma needed, they didn't get. And a couple of drives they needed, they didn't get. And so, their season's over. But if you looked at the first, 15 plus 5, the first 20 minutes of that game, I mean, it was a complete blowout. So, but hey, you know what? Like I always say to you guys, my father always told me there's two kinds of tickets. One you cash at the window, the other you put in the garbage, tear up. I tore my ticket up last night.
Vince, I mean, back in the day when Coach Saban had this team and they were down 17 or 10-0, which they were down to Oklahoma the last time they played, you've had a sense that the inevitable would happen. They'd at least make it a game, come back. But this version under DeBoer has not been that team at all. When they went down 17-0, I was ready to just, flip on NHL 2026 and play with my friends last night. But I stayed, and all of a sudden the punt block, and then all of it just all at once. Do you think this is a turning point for Alabama, or did they just kind of get lucky in this spot after having so many chances this season being down?
Yeah, getting down early 17-0. I think I could hear screaming from Nashville, Tennessee and South Bend, Indiana at that time.
For sure.
But yeah, I think John hit the nail on the head when Alabama cut it to 17-7 and Oklahoma had the ball, and Mateer basically hit a wide open receiver, I think down at the 20-yard line, and he flat out drops the ball. I think it was going to be a touchdown, or if not, it's going to be first and goal if he's tackled.
Right.
That was the play. I mean, essentially, you can look at a lot of different things that transpired during that game, but boy, that was the big one, because you answer back from 17-7 and put 7 right back on the board. I think you take all the momentum completely away from Alabama. Alabama's running game is still struggling until their running back busted one off, I think in the late third quarter. Right. I believe they were still negative yards in rushing up until that point. They're going to have to run the ball if they have any shot at beating Indiana, which I still think they do because they're Alabama. And I think that counts for something. But if they can't find their running game, they will have to win the turnover battle against Indiana 5-0, I think, in order to beat Alabama without a running game.
For sure. Brendan, yeah, they're going to move on. They have to play the number 1 team in the nation, the Indiana Hoosiers, at the next stop. Do you think they have a chance against Indiana? And second, what are they going to do if they can't get that running game rolling? Because if you got down early to Oklahoma, that could happen very easy against Indiana.
Yeah, well, I think the only way they have a chance against Indiana is what Coach Vince just said, if they get the run game going, because I don't think that they win the turnover battle against Indiana. I don't think that their defense is good enough to do that. So they have to get the run game established if they're going to have a chance against the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, and John, how do you like – and Ty Simpson, he – at times looks like a guy that you would love to see playing on Sundays, and then other times it's infuriating as hell watching him. He seems like he's kind of just a mirror of what's going on at Alabama. When he plays well, it feels like they play well. I know that's an easy thing to say with the quarterback position, but his inconsistency seems to fuel that team, and when he's consistent, they win. What do you think about Ty and his chances against Indiana?
I wouldn't pick him. I'll say 2 things about that game last night, which I watched the whole game. Is number 1, I thought that the refs did a really good job. When you see a game, even though I didn't have the winner, when you see a game that flags are not dominating the outcome, I thought that was a big deal. I mean, it was one of the few games I've seen with very little penalties, and there were a couple of them that were big, but they didn't really do the outcome of the game. To your question, the announcers there on ESPN were really great last night. And what they pointed out is when Ty Simpson has time, he's really good. When he doesn't, he's really bad. And they had a couple of shots last night where he had minimal pressure and he had happy feet. And they were saying he was dancing, he was moving around. They showed his eyes going. I think he's a long way from a NFL draft board based on what I saw last night. But they were right. When he had time in that pocket, I mean, he's got a great arm and he can run the football, but how that translates over, you gotta make those reads so fast. I was very impressed with John Mateer last night. I thought, other than that one horrible pick 6, I don't know what the hell was in his head. Other than that, I thought he played a really sound game and ran when he had to, and was kind of fearless, and his passes for the most part were accurate. So I was impressed with him. But Ty Simpson, like I wouldn't draft him.
And Coach Vince, John Mateer has a great game, and it's not going to get any easier as they're going to face Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner next week. Alabama struggles against these top quarterbacks, and they're probably going to struggle again next week. And that offense is going to have to put up points to have any chance.
Yeah, and I like myself and what Brendan had said earlier. I mean, if Alabama, they just have to find a running game. I mean, to keep things balanced right now, you can see what the secret sauce for Indiana is going to be. They're going to stop the run, and they're going to force Simpson to throw the ball, and they're going to put pressure on him. And as John mentioned, you put pressure on Simpson. Yeah, he's a good college quarterback, no question about it. I mean, anybody's a quarterback in the SEC, you got to be good. But boy, if you can make him have to rush his throw, create the happy feet. I think he made one pass like last night was just a terrible pass where he tried to do a jump pass and his body was going in one direction and it just didn't look good. And he was lucky it didn't get picked off. But yeah, they're going to have their hands full with Indiana.
Yeah, Brendan, what are they going to do against Fernando? And also, we can bring that up too. Fernando this week wins the Heisman Award. Wasn't a big surprise, but that guy just handles himself with such grace. He just seems like a perfect representative for college football and one that will be playing on Sundays as well. But he's going to be a tough matchup for Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to shut him down completely. I mean, let's just be honest. He's too good. I mean, he won the Heisman. What they're going to have to do, what Alabama has to do in this matchup, they just have to limit the damage. You limit the damage by putting pressure on him, making him uncomfortable. I mean, he's going to break loose and have great passes and drive them down the field and have unbelievable drives. They're not going to shut him down completely, but you have to limit the damage. They got to be in the film room and seeing everything that he has done throughout the season as far as finding receivers and, the way he throws. You just have to limit the damage that he is going to inflict. That's the only way you could get out of this with a win.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza, John, that guy just seems like a class act. It's the first Hoosier to ever win the Heisman Trophy. He says he's going to keep the Heisman Trophy at Indiana too, as opposed to like Matt Leinart was on an interview a couple of years ago, and the thing was behind him in the bathroom, like it's Heisman Trophy. So it's nice that Fernando just seems to have it all, like a great representative, just a great human being, and he's going to be one tough SOB to knock out of the playoffs, and it's going to be tough for Alabama, don't you think?
I don't see it. I mean, I don't see Alabama winning another game. I mean, they really shouldn't have won last night, right? So you get a pick six, you get a punt. I mean, it wasn't even a punt block. It was a punt fumble. I mean, everything the second, after they tied it, you're sitting there going into the halftime. You know that Alabama's going to win that game. Now you got to go up against Indiana. They had another week off. They're at home. I don't see it. And you got to remember, there was one point in that game where they had gone 6 quarters with -8 yards rushing. I mean, you think about that. -8 yards rushing. If things hadn't fallen their way last night, they literally get blown out. Going to Indiana, anybody seriously thinks they can win that game? I just don't see it. I mean, I think Indiana blows them out.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that the way the seeding go, that Alabama goes straight to Indiana, and it's not like Tulane or JMU that would have to be served up to the number one team. And a lot of fodder going around, obviously, with Notre Dame being held out of the playoff, and then everybody had their eyes on Alabama won. We talked about that a little bit, but Tulane and JMU specifically, and that's that old, the old argument that if they were playing against a Notre Dame or one of the teams that were left out, that they would get boat ran out of the building. But that's, when you do a college playoff, you're kind of looking at the college model, and you want to see some Cinderellas and upsets and so forth. Like Coach Vince, having Tulane and JMU in these Power Fives, that has to just continue. But maybe having both in is a little bit of a murky some murky waters, but I'm rooting for both of them to represent today, just so everyone can shut up for a little bit. What about?
I don't want to jump in on Vince here, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think like a lot of the criticism of a JMU or a Tulane, I mean, give these kids a shot to play in the playoffs. Like, I mean, I'm going to watch both games. I'm going to bet the two favorites. I'm probably going to win, but it doesn't matter. The fact that JMU is in there is fun. Tulane is in there. It's fun. I mean, no matter how much we say this every week, no matter how much you're paying them, it's about the kids. And you give, lower programs. You look at a story like James Madison. They built themselves up from nothing. They got out of the FSC or FSB or whatever it is.
Yes,
they go big time, and now here they are in the playoffs. They did it methodically. Tulane is up there with an Ivy League school and Vanderbilt. They're in there. I mean, I think it's fun, and I like it expanding this 16. You can last night, and I love the Friday night thing because it set the stage. I thought that was fun. Like my whole, Joe was there. We all got together to watch the game. It was fun. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that and give these other programs a shot. And one of these days there's going to be an upset.
No, and coach, that's what I was going to get at with the NIL and the way this world works right now. These schools, you could buy, a good player here or there. They're going to be able to represent. These squads might not today because the matchups don't put that way. But when you expand the playoff out and you have, you have like a lower Power 4 conference against some of them. You got to keep them in. I'm rooting for them hard today, and I hate when that discussion goes that way because it's so elite. It's like Notre Dame, join a conference and shut the hell up. Like, it's just so infuriating when I hear Notre Dame fans complain.
Well, the Power 4 has no one to blame but themselves. They're the ones that wrote the rules for the tournament, and I'm sorry, but the ACC dropped the ball big time on this when they had a multiple, I think like a 16 tie for second place, and Duke is the top. Come on, you cut your own throat on that one. So don't even complain to me about how JMU doesn't deserve to be there. ACC, you blew it. You should have set up a matchup between Virginia and Miami, and that would have eliminated all discussion. And I love it. I'm rooting for the Ducks tonight, but I mean, unless you have somebody that it's just your team, I think America's rooting for Tulane and JMU.
Well, down here, I mean, and John's not far away in DC. He knows the JMU alumni train from Central Virginia to Northern Virginia is deep. I have many friends. None of them were ready to travel to Oregon for it. They weren't. They'll go a lot of places for JMU. But they're expecting probably to get blown out here too. But Brandon, what's your take on the little guys getting in these tournaments?
I like it because, like John said, one day there is going to be an upset, and it's going to be an exciting storyline for these small schools coming in and take. I mean, can you imagine today if JMU somehow pulled off an upset against Oregon? I mean, we'd be talking about it for weeks. I mean, so why would
years?
Years.
Boise State, Statue of Liberty.
Hey, remember when JMU went into Oregon as a 23-point underdog and beat the Ducks? It can happen anytime, right?
Right. So why would you take away the possibility of that? I mean, I like the idea of the little guys getting in and getting a shot.
For sure.
You know what? Hey, I think Oregon is vulnerable too. Oregon is not the team they have been in the past. They got exposed. Indiana exposed them early in the year at their own place, and JMU kind of has that DNA, that Indiana DNA, primarily because Signetti was a coach at JMU. So I think there's some similarities there. And even though the line is high, we'll obviously talk about the game in a few minutes, but I think JMU has a shot at keeping this one close. I really do.
I love it. You're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturday show. We're doing our college football picks here coming up. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, and Brendan Statler. You got JMU traveling all the way to the West Coast, man. When you go to those airports, you can gross germs, you get sick. Might be good to pack some Healthy Cell with you, John. Tell everybody about this amazing company. Ever since we've done it, it's caught fire. There's national commercials everywhere for this stuff. All right.
Well, because they were the first one to support Godzilla Wins. back in the day. You know, it's amazing. I was thinking about this the other day when we first started the show. I went to some of my customers that were just my friends, and I'm like, look, here's my vision, here's what I want to do, and three of them said, all right, like, all right, I don't know, yeah, okay, whatever, yeah, okay, and those three of the four have stayed with us for, I don't know, Al, how many years this has been, 7? I mean, they have stayed with us from the beginning. And that's a testament to our audience. They believed in what we were trying to do. It's going to be, you know, I outlined the vision. It'll be new kind of sports show. It's going to be Zoomers, millennials, and the boomer. That was me at the time. There was no Vince, and just one boomer. And we're going to do sports analysis. We're going to make picks. We have a website. And, you know, they bought in. That was My Pillow. Mike Lindell. Thank you, Mike. Great guy. That was Doug Giampapa of Healthy Cell, which is here now. And Nate Mize, my good friend at Colonial Downs. Those are the three guys been with us forever. So I blow the game last night. I'm pissed off. It's what, like 11:30? The hell feels like going to bed? Like, I'm really pissed. So Ann's like, come to bed, pop in your REM sleep. You're good to go. So I pop this in right here. Pop it in. 10 minutes later, I'm out. I got up today at 8. So I had like 8 hours of sleep or something. Without it, I'd be tossing and turning, thinking about that drop touchdown pass that cost me the game. So you got to get your REM sleep. You're going to feel better, sleep better. Sleep is everything. When you sleep, you feel better. Got to get that good night's sleep. Go to healthycell.com/Godzilla. Healthycell.com/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. 10% off. There's a lot of other things on there. I take the bio multivitamin, REM sleep every day. I take the Focus, but there's a lot of good things on it. But Godzilla wins. I'm sorry, 20% off. What did I say? 10? No, screw that. 20% off with promo code Godzilla. Feel better and live better. Killer Carl knows, he takes this every day. Feel better, live better, quality of life, REM sleep.
You're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. It's about time to get to some picks. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers. John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler are here with me. Going to flip the script up a little bit here. I think we need to give more love, or make sure we give love to the games that are playing today that also happen to be the college football playoffs. We will get to some of the other bowl games, because beyond the college football playoff, during the week you have the classic bowl games. We were just talking about the old school pull-on Weed Eater Bowl from like 1993. We'll get into all those. Meineke, Midas, who knows? I don't know what's out there anymore, but we'll figure it out. But first and foremost, let's get to the first game that's on today. Number 10, Miami is taking on number 7, Texas A&M. Notre Dame is boo-hooing and hem-hawing over this one because it was a common matchup against Notre Dame head-to-head that kept Notre Dame out essentially and got Miami into here. Early spread, Texas A&M -3, over under 47.5. This is one hell of a matchup. Brendan, I know you do all the research, especially when it's top 20 matchups, top 10 matchups in the college football playoffs. But in all seriousness, I love the Tulanes and JMUs, but this one has a little bit more meat on its bones. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. These are two good teams, but I don't think Miami has a chance today. I think Texas A&M is a much better team than them. Take Texas A&M at -3.
Texas A&M -3. Vince, Texas A&M is licking their wounds, lost to Texas to end the year, trying to bounce back here a little bit. They've looked dominant at times. I think Miami, the spread only 3. I think a lot of people would have Brendan's sentiments today. Like, hey, Texas A&M is just going to take care of business. Vegas is like, whoa, hold up just a little bit. Vince, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, no disrespect to obviously Tulane and Ole Miss and Oregon and JMU, but why isn't this game the Saturday night game? Why are they sticking it at an 11 o'clock kickoff in College Station?
I wonder
if that's at all.
The only thing I can think of is the NFL was still stubborn and they kept their Saturday game. So I'm wondering if they did not want to go head to head and they just put a sacrificial lamb up there.
Yeah, possibly. Boy, the arrogance of the NFL, right? You let college football have your one day all year. It won't be long, and the NFL will be playing games on New Year's Day.
No. You know what the NFL got? You know, when you look at the the Christmas schedule for NFL, those games are awful and they deserve it. I don't want to watch football on Christmas. I want to hang out.
And you know what?
I can see it already.
They'll outdraw the NBA has always been on Christmas Day. And the NFL will kick the NBA's backside on Christmas Day, even though with 2 games on Netflix.
Yeah, 2 games on Netflix that have no playoff implications in any way, shape, or form. How do you think this one's going to play out today?
A&M was rolling, and I think they were down 30-0 against South Carolina, and we thought we saw a comeback last night. A&M, the comeback of comebacks against South Carolina. And they stubbed their toe against their big in-state rival, the Longhorns, to end the season, which eliminated A&M from playing for the SEC title. Did A&M peak? I don't know. Maybe they did. But they've hit the reset button. I'm sure that losing the Longhorns does not sit well with Aggie fans. But I do think, man, you look at this, who's the better of the 2 teams? I think logically thinking you have to look at A&M. But this is going to be a good game. I really do. I don't see this being a blowout either way. It's going to be probably a field goal game. And if I'm putting any money on A&M, I hope it's more than a field goal game because the line's -3. But I like A&M in this one. I think they do bounce back from the loss to the Longhorns.
They win by 10. That's not
when I'm reading about doing my research for the game. When I see Carson Beck, I just assume that he's like the quarterback's coach or something. He's got to be too old to still be playing, right?
The only problem here is if A&M wins, we're going to have to hear from Notre Dame fans saying, "See, we got screwed."
I know, and that's why.
Even though Miami beat us, okay, we deserve to go in before Miami.
Yeah, the head-to-head argument, they know that it's just stupid. But we were better the last time. Like, hey, you had a chance. You played them already. John, Miami, do they have a chance against Texas A&M? Vegas thinks they have a chance. It's only, I see 3.5 in some spots and 3 in others, +3 for Miami.
They're going to go in there and win this game. Miami's a better football team. And they're 3.5-point underdog because of the disrespect they got based on the picking of them, the ACC. Texas A&M is in the ACC. Here's a team that was down 31-0 to South Carolina, as one of you guys mentioned earlier. They played Texas, got blown out. So they had a very easy schedule coming in here. Here's the thing about Miami. They've got a great offensive line, probably one of the best in half of college football. They've got NFL draft players there. They're coming in. They've been disrespected. They're hungry. And I get College Station. I get 12th man. Didn't seem to do anything for Oklahoma last night. These games are different. Here's the other thing you got to look at. Last year, on these first-round games, every road team got blown out. I think the Clemson game might have been close. They all got blown out. All the road teams got blown out. All the favorites won big. And right away, right off the bat, we have a road team coming in, overcoming a deficit, Alabama, winning that game. This to me is a game where, I'm getting 3.5. This is coming down to a field goal by somebody, and I just wouldn't count my Miami out here. I think they're going to win this game. I love the 3.5.
Oh, loving the 3.5. You're right. And then we'll keep those Notre Dame fans at bay. Okay, the second game, we talked a lot about Tulane a little bit. Tulane takes on Ole Miss. Ole Miss, obviously we have talked about what's happened with them. Lane Kiffin is gone. They have, a whole new look without their head coach, but they are still favored heavily by 17.5 going into here. Feel like Tulane can never figure out, their quarterback situation. They played a couple of them at time. Ratzliff looks good sometimes. Brendan, what are you thinking here? Is there any chance Tulane could shock the world? We're rooting for. We have 2 of them this weekend. JMU or Tulane. Can anyone pull off that colossal upset?
I hope that they can, but realistically, no, I don't think so. I think Ole Miss wins this game pretty easily. But I mean, it would be a great story. The fan of me would like to see it, but realistically, no. I think Ole Miss rolls.
Vince, is there any chance this could be the one?
On paper, you look at it, you say probably not. But let's really look. This is without Lane Kiffin, and it's easy to think, oh, the Rebels will be all fired up, but still, there's something about losing your head coach. He's the guy that recruited him. He brought all those players in. Is there going to be there's going to be some element to the game where it's like, okay, well, that meant nothing, losing Kiffin, but I don't know. I think that's an unknown quantity here is what we're looking at. Now, granted, Ole Miss steamrolled Tulane earlier this season.
Yeah.
Laid a beat down on him. I doubt they beat them down again this time. I think it'll be a closer game, and 17.5. Yeah, that's a lot of points. I think with the unknown quantity of Kiffin not there, and the fact that I think Tulane will keep it closer this time. Can they keep it within 17.5? Yeah, I think they can. I'm going to take Tulane in this one.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. You keep it close, John. You normally, if you betting on somebody, you're betting on them to win. Do you think there's a chance Tulane can cover here? I mean, Ole Miss did keep Charlie Weiss Jr. Ole Miss has one of the best running backs that's almost unheralded right now. They're going to be really tough to take down. What do you think here?
I think this is the easiest bet of the day. 21, 22. I don't even know what the spread is. How much has it gone up again? Every
17.5.
Yeah, it was like 16.5, 17.5. This game is not going to be close. And I tell you what, if you're an Ole Miss player right now, you got a chip on your shoulder. Certainly I do. First of all, my coach abandoned me. Screw him. Money grubbing POS. Don't want anything to do with him. But he's not out on the field, right? Lane Kiffin is not blocking, tackling, catching passes, or throwing them. He's not punting or kicking field goals. He's a friggin' coach, okay? So you think about if you're playing for Ole Miss right now, and all this talk about, Lane Kiffin's gone, they're going to collapse, without him, this, that, and you're in there and you're working your tail off for 2 seasons, 3 seasons in the weight room, and all of a sudden, your whole destiny is for some coach. Screw that. I think they go out here, they play unbelievably motivated ball, kick their butts, and this is a blowout. I'm talking 52-10.
52-10 would mean the over would hit, so that is what I was going to play anyhow. So I will take 52-10, hit that over here. I'm with you. I think this is going to be a blowout early, and then Tulane does have enough offense to come back and score some points. I think it's more like 45-17, maybe something in that range. But yeah, I'm with you here. This one is going to be very tough, and considering they've already played each other, we'll see.
And they blew them off the field. I mean, there's also there's a size difference. I mean, when you talk about, getting some of these teams in lower ranked conferences in, like, whether it be JMU or Tulane, Vince knows this from being a coach. There's simply a size difference. I mean, and when you get to the deep in the second half, your defensive line is outweighed by 100 pounds. Your offensive line outweighed by 90 pounds. I'm talking about total cross the line. You just wear out. And also, they're not going to have the depth that an Ole Miss has, or that an Oregon has. That they're 2-3 deep. JMU, Tulane doesn't have that. They're 1 deep because they're not at that level. So this is why these games for them become very, very hard.
Hey, can I jump in?
Sure.
And it just crossed my mind here. So we've got 2 first-round matchups with 2 games. Both teams played each other. Last night's game, they played each other earlier this year, obviously the Ole Miss. Is that something the college football playoffs should look into the future, is first-round matchups, avoid teams playing each other for the second time?
Yes.
Yeah, because and the Tulane one specifically, cause that just feels, I mean, it feels like if you're going to get your shot, you already got your shot. It's almost like, like Tulane's already played that team, especially for their fans. It's like, if you're going to play,
I mean, just switch, send Tulane to Oregon, send JMU to Ole Miss. That's a simple remedy right there, and you avoid that.
For sure. All right, so we've just poo-pooed one of the big upsets. You listen to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. We're going to get to the last college football playoff game here. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. One that's huge in my area, the JMU Dukes They're flying all the way out to Eugene, Oregon, trying to shock the world. They are 20.5-point underdogs. They have been the ire of a lot of people. These Notre Dame fans or these other big schools that won in and say they're better. Well, boo-hoo. The rules are what they are. JMU is in, and I think they could be pretty competitive. They will have to run the football and keep this game close, grind it down. That would be their only chance. If they win, the under is going to hit. So it's kind of where I'm thinking, Coach Vince, you were talking about it a little bit. You're going to be rooting for Oregon. You're out there, but you think they're susceptible.
I think I'm not saying JM is going to win the game, but I think 20 points, that's a big spread. And like I said earlier, Oregon's been very suspect of late. They just don't look like the same Oregon that we saw early in the season. And I think maybe they got exposed against Indiana. And I think the similarities between Indiana and JMU are very similar. It's almost like Indiana's the varsity team and JMU's the JV team in the same program. So I really think that JMU can keep this within 20. I really do.
Brendan, any chance the JMU Dukes first could potentially pull off the upset? Any chance for that or cover the spread?
Realistically, I don't think so. I think Oregon will win pretty easily. But hey, in the spirit of betting and making money, why the hell not throw $10 on JMU to get the upset and possibly win $100? I mean, I'm definitely pulling for JMU. I think it would be a great thing to see them at least be competitive. But realistically, I don't think so.
It'd be so great tonight. You're sitting there.
Great.
Yeah, it's
I'm definitely rooting for them. I don't know if I'm that confident though, but hopefully they do.
John, I mean, JMU is like the Jake Paul of. Okay, sorry if anybody watched that fight on Netflix last night. It was disgusting. We don't even need to bring it up. All right, does JMU have any chance winning it outright or at least covering this spread for all the people in Harrisburg, Virginia?
So Brendan, let me give you an alternative with that $10. Take your $10, drive to Fairmont, and find a homeless person outside with a tin cup, and put that $10 in their cup. Maybe they'll buy, a pack of cigarettes or a little vodka or something.
Scratch off.
It's a better utilization of your money than betting JMU. This game is going to be a blowout. It's going to be one of these games where they're going to start questioning again, why these teams are in it. I mean, the matchup for them could not be worse. This is an extremely high-powered offense with tremendous speed. JMU is not going to be able to keep up with these receivers. They're not going to get to the quarterback. Oregon's line is so much bigger, so much stronger. Yeah, JMU might run the football a little bit, maybe eat some time off the clock, but this game is going to be another blow. We're going to get 2 blowouts today, and people are going to start questioning why these teams are in it.
Yeah, next year the format goes, obviously a little different, expansion out there, and I think you're going to limit how many you're going to let in. You're not going to have too many.
I think weather could be a factor tonight
too. Expanding, we're going to 16. I think the thing we like to see next year is there are no buys, right? There's no buys. 16 teams get in. I have no problem with these lower level teams getting in. I think it's exciting for the game, exciting for the players and for their parents. I think the whole thing's exciting. But then reality sets in, and if you're the 16th seed, you're going to be playing the number 1 seed. It is what it is. No different than if you're number 64 and you win a play-in game, and now you're in a bracket. You're playing the number 1 team right off the bat in the dance. But they got there, right? And there's always a Fairleigh Dickinson out there, my alma mater, by the way, or a George Mason. So you never know. But in this particular game, JMU is a couple seasons away from having the speed and the weight to be able to compete with an Oregon up there in Eugene. So I don't see it.
No, I agree with you. I think it's going to be closer. I'm going to go with JMU to cover the spread, and I'm going to go with the under. They're going to grind it down.
So you're doing that from your heart.
It is, of course. I know. I don't know if I'll take Brendan, if you want to forward me your $10.
Right. Give it to a homeless person.
I'll put it on JMU.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? Why not try to win $100? Something crazy happens. What? $10. What the hell?
That's right. That's right. And just remember, and you're right. It is kind of reversed today. So 1 o'clock, you're going to have probably the better game. Again, Miami at Texas A&M. They starts it off. Tulane at Ole Miss, and then JMU at Oregon. I wanted to get those in first just to give them their time. I know on their format sheet, we kind of had the other games first. And remember, we are an entertainment gambling show. So if you have any issues with gambling, dial 1-800-GAMBLER or rewind the show where you hear me do a 45-second montage that gives you every 800 number to call in the planet. 1-800-GAMBLER gets you there right away. Godzilla Wins Saturday show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. We're going to break down the rest of these bowl games, and I'm just going to go down the sheet, not chronologically, because I think Montana might have been squeezing in there between the college football playoff games. But we have and I love these names. I just love the names of these, Coach Vince. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. That is, you know what? That's a nice. I like that name. That's just an easy name right out here. You got Utah State versus Washington State, two teams that barely made it to bowl eligibility. We're at 6-6 on each of them. The line here is 1.5. Over under is 49.5. When this format came to us yesterday, I'm sure there was a lot of research happening because I don't know a lot about Utah State and Washington State. And Brendan, you're a nice college boy. I think you did your research. Brendan, what are you thinking?
Sure. We'll go with that. Yeah, I don't know much about either of these teams either. If I was going to place a bet, I would take Washington State just because they're the dogs.
There we go. Hey,
that is my only analysis on this game, Mitch.
You know what? But we're East Coast biased out here. Coach Vince, on the other hand, he might know a little bit about Utah State and Washington State. What are we looking at here?
Well, just so you know, this is a future Pac-12 matchup. So starting next year, both Utah State and Washington State in the Pac-12. Hey, side note here. John's starting quarterback with the Titans, Cam Ward. John Mateer, the quarterback at Oklahoma, both products of Washington State. So is there a third quarterback lying in the weeds at Washington State that will be playing for a Power 4 conference team next year? I'm saying yes, there is. So take the Cougars in this one.
I love it. See, we had some deep analysis for this
deep
Idaho Potato Bowl. John, Monday.
I tell you what, off the playoffs, this is my best bet of the non-playoff day. My best bet in the playoffs is Ole Miss. My best bet here is Washington State. I mean, you got to remember, a couple years ago, Washington State, was a Pac-12 member. They were competitive. They were always tough to beat at home. No disrespect to Utah State, but they've been in all these teams that didn't get to another league. For a couple of seasons here, they've been Vince, in like no man's land, right? They don't even play in a conference. And I think it's been tough on it's been tough on their whole organization. Everybody left. The coaches got out. They had to rebuild. But I think this is really a signature game for the Cougars as they go into a new Pac-12 next year, which I'm very excited that the NCAA is, or that organization is done, and very excited about it. It's going to be a lower tier league, obviously, without some of the big names in it. But I think it's going to be exciting. And I think for that, Washington State, they played better teams. They're a better overall team. I think they win this game.
Yeah, nobody and you have to just embrace these bowl games, especially if you enjoy putting a couple shekels on the games. Monday night game, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, you're home with your family looking at the Christmas tree, putting a little parlay down. That's why it's awesome to bet on Bush's Boca Raton Bowl on Tuesday night. Louisville versus Toledo. Louisville, very sus, as the kids would say. When you're 4-4 and you're in the middle of the pack or lower middle of the pack in the ACC this year, ooh, man, that's a little bit. And you're 6.5 point favorite over Toledo. Something stinks about this spread here, Coach Vince. Where are you going with this one?
Isn't Boca Raton John's favorite town in Florida? It
yes.
seems like I've heard him name drop Boca Raton several times this fall.
Mar-a-Lago gets a little crowded.
Yeah, you got it. Mar-a-Lago at 1, and then Boca Raton 2.
Yeah.
But Louisville's biggest win this year may have been beating JMU.
It's true. That's very true.
Fair to assume?
Yes.
Okay. So with that said, hey, they beat somebody that's in the college football playoffs. So I'm going Louisville Cardinals today.
Oh, John, there's still time to fly all of us out to Boca. This is Tuesday. Just think about it.
Well,
Brent,
and don't forget about their college down there. I mean, they're pretty good. I know one of Joe's former teammates at West Virginia University went there. We used to call him Money Mike. What is it? Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, they were good. They were dunking out of the screen about 12 years ago.
What was that? The Owls, right? FAU Owls. It's a pretty good college. So we talked to Mike, and his, obviously we're still friends with the parents that we hung out with at West Virginia. He's doing well there. I saw the football team play. I think it's an opening game when they played Maryland and got blown out. But I don't see how Toledo stays in this game. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Brendan, where are you going?
Yeah, I have to agree with John. I don't see this game being close. I think Louisville rolls this one pretty easily.
All right, let's move on. We got the New Orleans Bowl. Classy name, just named after the city. There's no other sponsor. New Orleans is the sponsor. I like that. That sounds like a fun bowl. If you had to go to one and you had to pick one during the holidays to roll up to on a Tuesday night, New Orleans, probably pretty fun. Southern Miss facing Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is favored by 2.5. Over under is 57.5. In this game, Brendan, put you on the spot. New Orleans Bowl, where are you going with it?
I'm going to go with Southern Miss, just in the spirit of winning money. They're the underdog. It's only 2.5. So let's go Southern Miss.
Brendan, I hope you save some money for Christmas, because you got a string of losers here. Okay.
Oh man,
I got plenty of money, John.
I really hope
for that. We thank you.
You better make some sales and better get a bigger commission check, because that thing is shrinking fast. Blowout. Okay. Did anybody watch Western Kentucky? What was it? I was in Indiana watching him on TV. I bet the other team, Vince, help me, I can't remember who, but I bet the other team, and they got absolutely Western Kentucky blew them off both sides of the ball. This is a really good football team. And as far as, Southern Miss, I mean, that conference they play in, they've had a very weak schedule. I don't even think they should be in this ball game. This and the other thing about the Hilltoppers is in that game, and I just can't think of the team they played. Miami. They played Miami of Ohio, blew them out, and beat them on both sides of the ball. This is a good football team. They're gonna win this game handily. So I like the Hilltoppers big.
Yeah, I like them too. They played LSU pretty tough too. Ago as well. 13-10 loss there. We have to have a sponsor, Reed, right? Hold on. What the wellness company, John, the wellness company is everywhere too. Like the ads are everywhere. Dr. Drew, everyone's on there about the wellness company. It's pretty amazing product, and it has every kind of medicine you could ever want in one spot.
Well, that's
good wellness company bowl.
There should be. Look, guys, Mars. This is a testosterone supplement. You get over 40 years old. Brendan doesn't need it. Logan doesn't need it. Jack doesn't need it. You get over 40 years old, right? Your testosterone in your body, the male body, starts to deplete. Not your fault. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just the way God made your body. And so it starts to deplete. And so if you go to the doctor, you should get your testosterone level checked. And if it's not up to where it should be, which it isn't going to be if you're over 40, especially if you get to be 67 like me, it becomes an issue of your health. You don't have as much energy. Other things go on. We don't have to get into it on the air. But I've been taking the testosterone supplement from Wellness Company now for 2 months. Dr. Kelly Victory, my doctor, told me it would take about 6 weeks. Took me about a month. I started to feel better, have more, and I got a lot of energy as it is. I get more energy than ever. So this is something, and with the 10% off, it's like $60 a bottle. Greatest thing that you could possibly do for your own health. So all you have to do is go to twc.health/Godzilla, twc.health/Godzilla. There's a bunch of things there, but get Mars, which is a testosterone supplement, promo code Godzilla, 10% off, 10% off. And you can get a bottle for about $60. Take 2 of these a day, take it in the morning. About 5-6 weeks, you're really going to see a difference. So, for $60 a month, $2 a day, feel better, get more energy, and other good things happen as well. So get that Mars from TWC. So for me, Mitch, Vince, Brendan, no, don't bother. Al, get your Mars, Al.
The ladies will love it.
TWC.health.
Back to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. We're brought to you by West Virginia SportsNation.com and WV The Torch. We're moving on to the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. And speaking of getting Frisco or frisky, Ohio University's coach Brian Smith has been relieved of his duties after getting caught in an affair with a student at the Ohio University Inn. Like, you might go down the road, maybe. Why would you do one that's named after the university? And alumni and donors are in there, and they basically just kept watching him get drunk with this person allegedly. And he's been, relieved of his duties. Not as big of a story as Michigan and Sharon, because that one was crazy. I know a lot of people were wondering why you don't spend more time on it. Well, one's Michigan, one's Ohio. One guy had a butter knife trying to kill himself. Whatever.
Let me just weigh in.
Ohio UNLV, John. I just wanted to.
Let me just weigh in here, okay? Come on, man. Come on. You're a football coach representing a university. What are you doing? The other guy on Michigan, what are you doing? You're representing the community. You're representing an alumni. You're representing the professors there. You're representing the janitor, the guy that's, cleaning the sidewalk. What are you doing? If you want to do that stuff, don't go in the public sphere. Go do something else for a living, and then you can bang anybody you want and figure it out with your wife. But what is up with these guys? And then you getting drunk in public formats. You're a football coach of a major university. Look, I'm no stranger to the adult beverage. Everyone knows that. But you know where I drink? I drink at home. The door's shut. Ann is there. I drink at home. That's it. You'll never see me out getting plastered. It's stupid. Why these guys do that, Vince? To me, here's what pisses me off, okay? At the end of the day, I say this again. You're representing kids. Kids. You want to be a role model to these young men. As you get to be a father, you get older, it's all about that. You want to be a role model to your daughters, to your sons. These guys are out there banging staff members, getting drunk. Vince, what the hell's going on here?
I have no clue, John. Don't these coaches have film to break down and recruiting calls to make? You want to get out. For decades, the MAC has been called the cradle of coaches. Virtually all the list is long of famous head coaches that started off in the MAC. And if you have success in the MAC, like this guy he was having success at Ohio U. He would be at a Power 4 conference probably within the next 4 years. And to just throw it all away because you want to go out and have a few adult beverages with a co-ed just makes no sense at all. None whatsoever. Just throw common sense out the door in this one. It blows me away, John.
If you want to do that, don't be a head football coach. Look, I'm not judgmental, right? I got a lot of friends. We've all done things. You look back and say, well, that was dumb, right? It's part of life. But if you want to do that, that's your personal business. I make no judgment. But when you take these positions, you have to understand what you give up in order to take that, because you represent more than just yourself and your own interest. And especially when young men are involved or young women are involved and they're looking for a role model. That's why I have no use in my life for Elaine Kiffin ever again. I mean, you just abandon your kids. You just abandon them, dude, for money. Like, get out of my face. And this guy, I mean, you're out there drinking with a co-ed half your age. I mean, come on, man.
Seemed like a good opportunity to talk her out of it. Yeah, like, hey, whatever reason you're attracted to an old coach for power.
With that said, Mitch, UNLV blows out the Bobcats.
Blows them out.
Dude.
Blows them out.
For the shark Tarkanian.
My lock of the day.
And we don't want to, like, poor Scooter's Coffee. This guy's representing them too. Scooter's Coffee is not having a good run of it with this guy. Brendan, what are you doing? UNLV running Rebels out in the desert.
Oh, UNLV wins this game easily. It's not even going to be close.
I know John's taking UNLV.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on here to a fun one. And maybe coach should have gone to the Sheridan. All right, the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl is up next over at the Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex in Honolulu, Hawaii. You know I know nothing about the teams if I'm giving you the complex. So Hawaii versus Cal. Actually, we've talked about Cal a little bit here. Hawaii is favored by 1.5. Over-under is 52.5. This is Vince's neck of the woods. We'll start with you, Coach.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been a Cal Bear fan, and my goal in life was this one time see Cal in the Rose Bowl, and it's never happened. But
Come on, Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
Jeff Tedford, what the heck?
Exactly. Hey, they hired a good coach, Tosh Lapoy. Now, to a little background on Tosh Lapoy, he's bounced around. He's been a recruiting guru. He was one of Nick Saban's top recruiters at Alabama. He's one of the top recruiters on the Oregon staff. And back in the day, he was Jeff Tedford's recruiting coordinator at Cal that brought in Deshaun Jackson and Aaron Rodgers and all this. This dude can recruit. And I like the hire by Cal. And I think with that said, with some energy being brought into the program, I think Cal and their players have a lot to play for because they want to be part of something here. And I look for Cal to take care of business on the island.
You got me excited. Christmas Eve matchup, ready to go. Brendan, what are we going here? Cal?
I can't argue with his analysis, so I'm gonna trust Coach on this. Let's go, Cal.
I mean,
go Bears.
What are we doing here?
Rainbows -1.5 at home.
Oh, so look at that. Look at you just stuck it on in there. No analysis.
Look, all the travel that Hawaii has to do. I mean, it's brutal. And now they're at home, and it's what is it, Christmas Eve or something? The Sheridan Bowl in Hawaii. I mean, they got a lot to play for there. And California's had a tough. I think they have a future. I do like their coach. Vince, I assume they go into the new Pac-12, right?
No, they're in the ACC.
Oh, that's right. They're in the ACC.
Yeah,
that's right.
It makes total sense. It's just the Atlantic Coast.
Yeah, I like Hawaii at home.
So stupid.
But I love these games. I have to say, a lot of people say, well, the playoffs minimizes the ball games. I think there's a lot of these ball games that are fun to watch.
Yeah,
and I commend the good teams for getting it. It's easy to say, oh, we're not playing in a bowl game. But then the other thing, you got to be careful betting these because you got to wait almost till an hour or two before a day before game
to know who's playing
and see who's playing, right? Because a lot of these kids just decide they're not going to play for whatever reason. They think they're going to go in the draft. They don't want to get hurt for whatever reason. And so that dramatically changed. So watch the lines. If a line changes big time, that means that you got to dig into it. Somebody's not playing or a bunch of people aren't playing, like what happened with, what was it, Florida State a couple seasons back?
Yeah, and then that's happening everywhere. And I mean, and we didn't even talk about the Notre Dame's not playing in their bowl games. Well, that's it for our first hour.
Wussies.
It's the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. We broke down all the college football playoff games, including the Alabama game last night with their amazing come-from-behind victory. We've got a slew of games today. We broke down some of the other games you can watch while you're sitting with your family during the Christmas break. So it's going to be a good time. We're going to come on the second hour right after this, and it's going to be all NFL action. Woo! These NFL teams are gearing up for the playoffs. Some are, some aren't. We'll break it all down for you. We'll be right back right after.
Let's go.
West Virginia Sports Nation gives you a top-of-the-mountain view of the Mountaineers sports landscape. See what's happening in all the sports, far beyond football, basketball, and baseball. Gymnastics, track and field, rowing, swimming and diving, golf, volleyball, tennis. More sports, more stories. If the Mountaineers play the game, WVSportsNation.com has it covered. Up-to-date and insightful articles written by Mountaineers for Mountaineers Nation. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com.
The best part about waking up in the morning is a great cup of coffee, and I get this every day with my 1775 coffee. It's rich, it's bold, best tasting coffee I've ever had. Single origin, farmed in Bolivia, 7,000 feet. It's always fresh, roasted daily. This is the best coffee you're ever going to get. Go to 1775coffee.com, 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. It's going to make your day every day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work, try to see a doctor this week, or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla.
John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth, fiercely independent.
No ties to Wall Street, I promote Main Street.
The John Fredericks Media Network, privately owned and operated, on top of the issues on air and online.
Trucking the truth every day for 14 years.
The John Fredericks Show drives your morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. The only independent White House correspondent with live reports from the White House. Hit JohnFredericksRadio.com. Watch at JFMN.tv. John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth.
Who's going to stop me now?
Nobody.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, and then spends about $30, $40 with the county recorder. They then take out loans using your home equity as collateral. And the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. Most people don't check on their home title because why would you feel like you needed to? But this right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock. They have a $1 million triple lock protection that helps keep your home and equity safe. It includes 24/7 monitoring with protection immediately, urgent alerts in case there's any changes in your title. Then if fraud does happen, they have a US-based restoration team that will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
John Fredericks, he's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh, yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
Welcome back to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. First hour, we broke down all the college football playoffs and other bowl games. This hour, we bring you the NFL picks and NFL breakdowns. We had one heck of a matchup on Thursday night already to start the week, and may have been the best, one of the best games of the season. The Los Angeles Rams lose to the Seattle Seahawks 38-37 in an overtime. Classic. I mean, Puka Nacua exploded for 225 yards, 2 scores. Was mad about the refs. Puka had a bad week, especially after having the game of his life and then losing that game. But this, the winner of that game went to first place in the NFC West. Obviously, a huge game. We will start with Coach Vince. This is your neck of the woods out here. Sam Darnold shut a lot of people up because it looked like Sam Darnold was going to do Sam Darnold things, the things he did last year with the Vikings. But he came back. He Alabama'd it. You know, they were down big early and then just came flooding on back when you thought it was Matthew Stafford's night for sure. Coach Vince, what a game, and I hope we see them play again.
Yeah, I do too. And hopefully they're playing each other for the right to play the 49ers in the NFC Championship game at Levi's Stadium. Hey, the NFC West is a juggernaut. I mean, excluding the Cardinals, of course, but obviously – 2 teams in the NFC West, the Seahawks, as you mentioned, who are currently at the top of the heap and also currently the number 1 seed in the West. If them or the 49ers run the table, one of those 2 teams is the number 1 seed in the NFC. And in the thought, I sent this out the other day, after Monday night's 49er game in Indianapolis, theoretically, the 49ers will not leave Levi's Stadium the entire year, and that includes if they play in the Super Bowl. So it's a lot of vested interest in that game the other night. You know, you look at the statistics, I think was it beginning of the 4th or midway through the 4th, I believe the Rams were up by 16. Does that sound right? So they had to score 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Yes, and 2 2-point conversions. And the 1 2-point conversion, a lot of controversy on that one. I don't think anybody will argue it was a backward lateral, but I've heard some things saying that the whistle was blown, and technically if the whistle's blown, the play stops. But casually, I think was it Charbonnet that actually picks up the ball, just going to hand it to the official and is like, okay, go to video replay. And it's like 2-point conversion. So when that happens, like, wow, we've got ourselves a game, and we most certainly did. And overtime did not disappoint as well either.
Not at all. Brendan, we talk about a lot of the flawed teams. We've had the Colts rise up early in the year. They were the number 1 team. They were everyone's darling. We've seen all these teams, but they've all ultimately had some flaws. It feels like the Rams and the Seahawks are about as loaded on both sides of the ball as possible, especially at the quarterback position and with the head coach. It's almost a shame they're in the same division, but they are. It was one hell of a game, and I expect those 2 to do great things in the playoffs. What about you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, these are 2 great teams. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been playing out of his mind. I mean, he's the leading candidate for MVP this season, if I'm not mistaken. And Sam Darnold, that performance the other night, I mean, wow. I mean, they were down, 30-14 at one point, I believe, if I remember correctly. I mean, game's usually over against the Rams. You get down by that much, but man, they stayed with it and they battled back, and that crazy controversial 2-point conversion ties the game up and sets up a wild overtime. I mean, both of these teams are fun to watch. They're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs.
John, what's your thoughts on how that game ended? Is it a shame, a travesty that ended that way, or does it just add more to it? I mean, it felt a little funky away, the way it ended.
Well, the second 2-point conversion did, especially like what you guys said. Vince said Chardonnay just picked up the ball to hand it to the ref and 2 points tied. So, but this is football. It happens. The refs got it right, and that's why they always teach you, right? Play through the whistle, right? Play through the play, because you never really know. So I guess they thought the whistle blew, but if you looked at the replay too, the Rams lineman had the ball. He just had it, and it squirted out of his stomach, and then Chardonnay just picked it up and handed it to the
ref. Yeah,
these things happen, but look, it was a great game. I commend McDonald for going for the 2 to end this thing. one way or the other. Like, I'm at home, I'm just going to win this game or not with a 2-point conversion. And he knew his defense was gassed. So, that played into it. And they were able to win that game. Now, I had the Rams plus 1.5. So I went to bed up 30-14 and, had to see it all in the replay because it was so late. But here's the bigger picture. This has been such a fun season in the NFL. And it comes down to salary cap and parity. I mean, teams that, if we got at the beginning of the season and said, here's the teams that are not going to make the playoffs, forget winning the Super Bowl, not in the playoffs, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, not in the playoffs, you would have said you guys are nuts. And that's kind of how it's played out right now. So I'm going to say this every week when I get on. There is going to be no Major League Baseball in 2027. That lockout's going to be a whole season. They got to fix this. They can't let the Dodgers buy every player. They've got to fix it. And I think you have to suffer for 1 year before you're going to be able to do that. That's my prediction. I've been saying it for a long time now. There'll be no baseball in 2027, no MLB. They got to fix the salary cap. The game cannot go on this way. And the NFL's got it right. NHL's got it right.
Hey, John, I know this. I want to piggyback off that. I just want to throw this out there. It has nothing to do with football. It has everything to do about baseball. I got a buddy of mine that pitched in the Yankees organization this last year and was up and down between AAA and the major leagues. Signs a contract the other day with a Japanese professional team because his agent told him, you better go to Japan because there's going to be no baseball in 2027.
Thank you.
So there you have it.
I know, but just to be the antagonist here, football in the 80s is pretty cool though. I miss the 49ers. I miss those.
Yeah, but you didn't have the kind of money, dude, that you got floating around now in the 80s or the 70s. So it wasn't that big of an issue. You simply didn't have the kind of cash going around. I mean, when you have a baseball team that is making millions across the globe, the luxury tax, they're paying, get this, the Dodgers have a bigger luxury tax than 7 or 8 teams' entire payroll in Major League Baseball. You can't operate this way. But we're not here to talk about baseball. We're here to talk about football. That was a great game. And, the Rams are going to be tough. Seattle's tough. 49ers are tough. Some Super Bowl winner is going to come out of the NFC West.
No, I think you're right, and a testament to how good the NFL's product is, and they can just sneak in on College Football Bowl Saturday and have 2 games tonight, even though we're watching college football playoffs, and that's probably why JMU is playing Oregon at nighttime, because you don't want to go up against the old Packers or the Bears, which will be a great game. But first, let's get to the Philadelphia Eagles at Washington Commanders. Whoa, Commanders!
Whoa.
What different. This time last year, wow, the bell of the ball, everything was going perfect. It went on a run to the NFC Championship game. What a difference this season makes right now. Washington is in a kind of rebuild. Jaden Daniels has been sidelined and shut down for the season. The Eagles, I mean, they're still there. They're still in first place, but they have some problems. I mean, they may, Jalen Hurts is a couple bad performances away from them having to reconsider possibly the quarterback position, all while being the defending world champions, all while being in first place. Coach Vince, it's a lot to pack in, but the Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 7 in this game, but they have been incredibly weak over the last few weeks.
Yeah, they're definitely leaking oil right now. And I think to their saving grace, they're playing the Commanders today. Otherwise, if they were playing anybody, if they played the Cowboys today, I think the Cowboys would beat them. I think there's a lot of teams that would beat the Eagles today. But fortunately for the Eagles, they get the Commanders, and the Eagles are going to cover this one.
Brendan, they will take over the Eagles, that is. They will take over the Commanders FedEx Field, or whatever they call it now out there in Raljean, Maryland, wherever they're at. The Eagles fans travel well, and when the Commanders are a bad team and it's a primetime game or close enough to it on a Saturday, this will be an Eagles home game as well. What are you thinking here?
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. And I'll refer to Washington by their proper name, if you guys don't mind, the Redskins. They are an absolute mess. They are an absolute mess. Yeah, the Eagles don't look too good right now, but man, they don't look bad enough to lose to the Redskins. I think the Eagles win this, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders / Redskins, John, last week may have effed up a little bit. They won. They shouldn't have won. They have Jaden Daniels. I feel like they're kind of not the same boat as like the San Antonio Spurs in the late 90s when, all of a sudden you lose David Robinson and then you draft the best power forward of all time. They're in that kind of position, though. They're a good team. They had a ton of injuries, especially at wide receiver. Running back was all FUBARD as well, and obviously at quarterback with Jaden. So they should be able to, even with the same team, be good next year. So they need a good draft pick.
Well, they're getting a little older, but I'm going to bet Philadelphia -7 here. That's my pick because I can't remember the last time Marcus Mariota won 2 games in a row. So based on that, he had a pretty good game last week. He used to be the Titans quarterback. He was kind of the magic man. He had some good games, but he's just an inconsistent quarterback. They got half a team, and Eagles need to win this game, clinch the East, move on. So I'm going to go the Eagles -7.
What a weak division. You talk about the NFC North, the NFC West, all the power out there. Dallas looked like they may have had something going on, but completely their season is completely over now as well. And speaking of the aforementioned NFC North, Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Man, what a division. Also, you got the Detroit Lions lurking in that division as well. This is one hell of a matchup that I cannot wait for. I'm glad they put it on just selfishly. I have nothing going on tonight. Just going to chill, relax, maybe have an adult beverage with John, text him a little bit. But Chicago favored by 1.5. Man, what can you say? Chicago has looked the part. Green Bay has been up and down, but Jordan Love has looked great in the recent weeks. Coach Vince, this is one tough game to pick, and it's going to be a great game, I predict. What do you think?
Yeah, and obviously the Packers losing Micah Parsons for the remainder of the season, just a devastating blow to them. I believe they played 3 weeks ago, and the Packers pretty well handled the Bears, even though the score was fairly close. I don't know, losing Parsons. We talked about the Eagles leaking oil. It almost seems like the Packers might be leaking some oil right now too, going last week to Denver and Denver handling them. I got a weird feeling. I think the Bears win this one tonight.
Is this just the ascension of the Bears right now, Brendan? I mean, they've got the coach, the quarterback. They're playing well, and Caleb Williams hasn't even reached that level yet. He feels like more of a game manager at this point, but it feels like he's on the precipice of just becoming that dude. What do you think?
Yeah, this was a team that I badmouthed for most of the season until I saw them punch my Steelers right in the mouth. This is a very good team. This is a very good team, and I think they're a better team than the Packers right now. Yeah, the Packers beat them a couple weeks ago, wherever it was. I think that's going to add extra fuel to the fire for the Chicago Bears tonight. I think they come out this with a win.
John, where are you going to go with this one? Packers can run the ball. Chicago's susceptible to that run. What do you think?
Everybody's picking the Bears. I'm going with the Packers, right? No Micah Parsons. I get it. Huge loss on this team. Next man up. Somebody's got to get and step up. I don't trust the Chicago defense. I've seen them get lit up by so many teams. And now this game that the Packers got beat last week in Denver, they got handled by the Broncos. I thought the Broncos were basically frauds because of their schedule, but they took Green Bay at home and took them out. This is a desperate Packers team now going into Chicago. They have got to win this game or they're in big trouble. So I'm gonna go with the Pack here to beat Chicago again this time in Chicago, and I'm betting them because I don't trust the Bears defense. That's the only reason. Packers
I'm just
plus 1.5.
Yeah, I think it's a coin flip game as well. I'm just gonna go with the home team because I just feel like they're at that level where just the home field advantage is going to be the difference in this one. All right, moving on to the Sunday slate. We start with the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. Talk about, Brendan, we just brought it up, these up and down teams. Buffalo has been the epitome of the up and down team, but they seem to be rolling right now in an era where you might not have Lamar. You're obviously not going to have Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to have, I was going to say Carson Palmer, but it's, who's the Bengals quarterback? Joe Burrow. I mean, it looks ripe for the taking, for Josh Allen and these Bills. Cleveland Browns, they're in the Shedeur Sanders era right now. They're really playing for Myles Garrett sack record, trying to take that from TJ Watt and Michael Strahan. Brendan, I'll start with you. You're nodding your head over there. 10.5 points spread, over under only 41.5. They don't think Shedeur is going to light them up? What's going on over here? What's going to happen at old Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah, they don't think Shedeur is going to lead them to victory because they've been watching him for the last few weeks, and he's given no reason for anyone to believe in him. Yeah, Buffalo's had a disappointing year so far. They're not as strong as they typically are, but lucky for them, they're playing the Cleveland Browns this week, and the Browns are going to be the Browns. This is going to be a blowout win for the Bills.
Coach Vince, Buffalo looked down and out after that first quarter. Drake May was throwing the ball everywhere. They could do no wrong. And then, booyah, the Alabama, the New England Patriots, they come on back. They take the game. They stay alive in the division, saying, not so fast, Brady-less New England Patriots. We're not ready for you to take this throne quite yet. Do you think Buffalo continues and just rolls through Cleveland?
I think they do. They have been inconsistent this year, but now's the time. I mean, this is Josh Allen's team. This is his opportunity because of the reasons you mentioned with Lamar and all the injuries in the AFC. They've proven they went into New England last week and down 21, come back and take care of business. I like the Bills in this one. And, one thing, we looked at the Browns earlier in this year, and, obviously they have a good defense, but of recent, their defense has looked very suspect. So I think it's a lethal combination here. I think the Bills roll in this one.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't see how any chance that they don't. 10.5 is a lot, and Cleveland does have a good defense, and Buffalo has been up and down. So I think that spread's going to be tough, but I'm going to go with, John's thoughts, right? John, I
think they went to Miami and got beat. They've been upset 2 times, but not taking these teams seriously. I think after that come from behind victory last week, McDermott has got them focused right now, and I think this is going to be a substantial win for the Bills as they start rolling towards the playoffs. So I think the 10.5 is a fine opportunity here for the Bills. I like the Bills minus 10.5.
All right, the next game is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys hanging on to barely any hopes. I think they would have to win the division probably. We've mentioned the NFC West and NFC North, so a wild card is not coming out of there. And so the Los Angeles Chargers playing for playoffs, right? But Dallas favored by 1.5. Dallas, they are represented by Dak Prescott. I will say you can see the leader that he is trying to keep them focused. But George Pickens, Coach Vince, has been the George Pickens that the Steelers fans know very well. The reason he's not with Pittsburgh anymore. And he's played that way for 3 weeks after leading the league in receiving yards. He's now third after having some subpar games where he just seems to check out. What Dallas can they expect this week?
Well, I'm going to defer the Pickens to Brendan because he's our resident Steelers guy. I think the Chargers too much at risk here. The Chargers, I think, have a great shot. I believe they do have the Broncos left on their schedule, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So they run the table. I think they win the AFC West.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go. Go Chargers.
Go Chargers. Interesting line here. Dallas favored slightly, Brendan, because they have one of the best offenses in the league, bar none, but we just don't know who's going to show up.
Yeah, and that's exactly why you can't bet the Cowboys. You never know which team you're going to get. And, the Chargers, they're a damn good team this year. I mean, there's no way that you could bet Dallas over the Chargers. Take the Chargers in this one.
No, John, when someone says there's no way, and Vegas is making this, John.
There's no way John picks Dallas.
Come on.
Oh, no, there's no way. First of all, they're going to be eliminated by the time we get to Sunday, so they're playing for nothing. Second of all, they have no defense. Third of all, the Chargers are playing to win the division. They're getting a little bit better every week. So, is what's his name? Dak Prescott going to put points up? Yeah, but they have no defense. They don't even bother to play defense anymore. And Chargers are going to be very motivated going in this game. Dallas is going to be eliminated. When's this game? The Washington game this afternoon. So they're going to have 24 hours to realize they're out of the playoffs. LA comes in there. I think they're going to be tough. And so I like the Bolts here. And the fact that I'm getting 1.5, like if they were -3, I bet them. So to me, this is like a 4.5 point differential from what I thought this game would be. When I saw the line, I immediately checked to see who was hurt. I thought maybe Abear's out with that thumb. He re-injured it. Now he's playing, so I couldn't see a major injury. So Dallas way overplayed here. I like the Chargers.
I don't know. Something smells fishy.
It does.
It smells
It
fishy.
does smell
I'm taking the boys. I'm taking the boys. George Pickens is going to have 180-2, Brendan. 180-2. All right. Oh, on the premier matchup.
I guarantee if Trent was here today, he'd bet Dallas based on this line.
Oh, he would. He'd be
all over Dallas.
It has our public money. I forgot to look that up too. All right. Marquee matchup over here. Kansas City.
Let's
Chiefs.
go.
Without Patrick Mahomes.
Woo!
Patrick Mahomes, ACL and something else in the knee. It's going to be tough for him to even get back for training camp. Taking on the hot Tennessee Titans right now. Kansas City, when you see only -3, you go, oh, but then you go, okay, Patrick Mahomes is out. Who's the backup?
Gardner Minshew.
I think.
The
Raiders last year.
Another
Gardner
Washington State grad.
I love that. Brendan, considering you said his name first, I'll give you the honors of picking this game first. Over under a whopping 37.5.
Ooh, I don't know, John. Should I be riding with the Titans?
Let's go, baby.
Go.
Let's go, Tennessee. +3.
I like that. I like that. Coach Vince, are you riding the Tennessee Titans?
I am. I got it. Obviously, I watched the 49ers Titans game last week, and even though the Niners covered, I watched the Titans going, they're not a bad team.
They didn't cover.
Yeah, but you know what?
13.5.
Yeah. And I like the Titans in this one. In fact, I like the Titans to win this one outright.
Wait, am I looking? What's the spread on this?
3.
3.
Oh, it is only 3. Oh, it started off at 11.5. Even Patrick Mahomes was still around. I'm sorry. I was like, whoa, what the heck? Yeah, that does seem like 11.5 with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Patrick Mahomes in there. Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Tennessee Titans. I want to root for the Tennessee Titans, and I might have to do a couple units just to have some fun with that one. All right, next
Wait a minute. What about me?
Oh, shoot.
Come on,
How do I
man.
do it? Not like you run the station or anything.
But I mean, I'm a Titans fan, and this is the first game. This is the first game this season that Joe and I are actually going to watch through the whole game. So I loved the backdoor cover last week. So I got the Titans plus 13.5. They're down by I don't know how many points, 30 or something. They get a backdoor cover at the end of the game, and then San Francisco runs out the clock. I got 13.5. They win by 13. I win the bet. But look. In the middle of the season, we couldn't watch this game. We couldn't. They were a painful watch. You get to the middle of the second quarter, you have to turn them off. You just couldn't take it. But look, they're playing better. They've jettisoned off all the veterans except Pollard, and that's it. They're all gone. It's all rookies. They're playing with some spirit, and they were competitive last week. Pollard, had a good game. This is my best bet of the day. I love Tennessee at home, taking the 3. I think they're going to win this game. Kansas City, no Mahomes. That's one. Number 2, they just got eliminated from the playoffs. This is a team that everybody picked to go to the Super Bowl, out of the playoffs. They're going to Tennessee, going to Nashville. Like, what are they playing for? Who gives a crap? I just don't think they're going to play a very motivated game here. Their season's over. And I think the Titans win this game outright. I'm going to take the 3. Cam Ward has looked a little better every single week, a little better. And they got to give their fans something to hope for, something to get. Maybe we get a good draft pick and, maybe we'll win 6 games next season, the kind of way the NFL is. So I love the Titans here. This is my best bet of the week. I know they're going to win this game.
Rolling with the Titans. You listen to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. Remember, entertainment purposes only. Dial 1-800-GAMBLER if you have any issues at all. And if you like other styles of gambling, slot machines with the best odds in the whole nation, there's a place called Rosie's.
Yeah,
right
baby.
down the road.
Go to rosiesgaming.com. They're all over Virginia. It is if you like gambling, it is the most fun you're going to have. It's a different type of casino. They don't pump the oxygen in, and there's not people smoking and all that nonsense. This stuff, plus they got the biggest jackpots. They got the biggest payouts because they have the lowest state takeout of any casino in the United States of America, including the Indian reservation. So you get bigger jackpots, bigger payouts. It's fun. Great place to be. Go to rosiesgaming.com or rosiesgaming.com. They're all over Virginia. Don't forget the big one in Northern Virginia with the hotel. Anna and I were there a few weeks back. We had a great time. Let's go to rosiesgaming.com. You're good to go. And they're all over the state. Find one near you. Have fun. Win money. rosiesgaming.com. Big shout out to their VP of marketing, Nate Mize, who had a vision to have a different type of casino. And they've done that and they pulled it off. And they're very successful because they get a different kind of player, those that want to go and have fun. And not some of the nonsense that you get at some of these other casinos. rosiesgaming.com.
Yeah, and if you're watching the games, they got TVs
everywhere. It's
too.
fun.
Yeah. So you can, and if you want to do some sports betting, go to your local sports thing and play Rosie's. Yeah, love it. All right, we're going to move on to some more NFL football. Next up, two teams that, man, a couple weeks ago, they had all the promise and they were all hoping, and Cincinnati Bengals eliminated. Miami Dolphins eliminated. Both teams kind of playing for nothing. You got the Bengals and Joe Burrow. He doesn't have love for the game anymore. Why is he even playing? Miami Dolphins just benched Tua after him getting rocked by the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Cincinnati Bengals are favored by 4.5. They'd still have a potent offense. Over under is 47.5. Coach Vince, this is for the degenerate. unless you're from each of these cities.
Which I think all four of us check the boxes on that one, right? So, hey, I think we were communicating, watching the Monday night game. Are the Steelers that good or are the Dolphins that bad? And I think we all came to the conclusion somewhere in the middle, probably.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. I mean, that's a weird narrative because the Dolphins were playing so well rolling into that game.
Yeah,
and a lot of people
Tua just looked awful. And God, I like Tua too. He's a guy you want to root for. They're going with their third string quarterback, newly drafted Quinn Ewers from the University of Texas, right? So he gets the start. With that said, Joe Burrow, if you compare the quarterbacks, you got to like Burrow over Ewers. So I'm going to go Bengals in this one.
Brendan, where are you going to go with this star-studded stellar matchup?
Yeah, I have to agree with Coach. I mean, neither team has anything to play for, but the Bengals are a team that sucks a little less than the Dolphins is what it comes down to. So take the Bengals.
Which less suck are you going with, John?
I could care less. I'll say this, though, because I'm not going to bet the game. I have no pick. Even though Steve Bannon on War Room says I'm a degenerate gambler, I'm not betting this game, Bannon, just so you know, on War Room. But I'm not a fan of Mike McDaniel. I think he's just a skinny little weasel. So I've been very critical of him for a long time, but I respect tough decisions. I'm married to a person who has built this company, who has made tough decisions. They're not always easy. And I've seen her make tough ones, tougher than I've made. This guy made a very tough decision. He decided to move on from Tua. Not only did he bench him, and not only did he say, he's got to play better. He's not playing well. He's not the guy, but he made him the third string quarterback. He basically said, we're done with you. Hope things work out. This is a courageous move he made because, as Vince said, Tua's a really nice guy and everybody wants him to do good. But, McDaniel said, I'm done. We got to move on. I think they cut him. They eat the $99 million cap hit. 2026, they almost have to write it off. And you got to move on. Businesses make mistakes. And one thing Ann has taught me is you just don't throw good money after bad. You take the hit. It will eventually cycle out. But if you just keep doing it, you just get worse. And I think he made a tough decision. I don't know who's going to win this game. I don't care. But too bad for Tua. He's never been the same since that seizure. And I wish Miami good fortune as they go forward.
Yeah, and we broke that on the Renegade Rant. We broke Tua's performance down, and just when he was rolling out to the left, his throwing side, he had two easy chances just to throw it away, and he just kind of just does that thing where he looks like a rookie again, and he didn't even look that bad when he was at Alabama. So it's unfortunate. It's a lot of money, and it just goes to show also when you're in quarterback purgatory and you're like, okay, we must draft this quarterback, and I'm speaking from a Steelers standpoint, we would have taken Tua all day long, and then you never know, and you sign him to a big deal, and all of a sudden your franchise is set back.
But it was that injury. I think Vince and it was that injury. I mean, to see him have a seizure on the field. What Joe was saying to me last night is, Dad, if you really look at him since that seizure, since that concussion, he's really never been the same. And, he's not seeing the field as well. I mean, we don't really know medically what the implications of that is. But I tell you this, Joe wanted to play football forever. It's the only tough decision I made is I wouldn't let him play it. I said, if you're going to play baseball, you risk injury. You're not that big. These things happen. And, he didn't talk to me for a while. I was pissed. And as it turned out, I'm like, look, you look back at your father. I made some tough decisions. That was a tough one. You were pissed, but you're better off. I mean, you're now in a position to get drafted. Who knows what happens if you play football, you get hurt, that's a tough game. And, I feel bad for Tua. I feel bad for the Dolphins. I really do. And I think McDaniel made a very tough. He just manned up and made a tough call.
Yeah. And the NFL football and football in general is in a tough spot. I'm at the age where I have 10 and 7-year-old daughters, but I'm around all my friends who have boys that play sports, and a lot of them don't play football. And just because of that. And so when you see the kids with the big helmets and all the safety stuff, they're doing that for the future of the game. And we'll feel bad for Tua. I'll see what happens here. That's a crazy matchup of franchise quarterbacks going in some different directions. All right. We can do this one quick. Next game on the slate is the New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. Saints have looked better, hence the spread is -6.5. New York is down to a rookie third string quarterback. I don't even know who they're playing anymore. Over under is 40.5. Brendan, I'll let you start with this game of the week matchup here.
Yeah, I'm not betting this game because I don't trust either of these teams. But if you want me to say who I think wins the game, I think the Saints win.
All right. And if you go with John's old adage, in NFL, pick the winner.
Saints -6.5. Kellen Moore has got this, and I've been saying this every week that I get on here. They're playing inspired football. They play through the final gun. I like the Saints here to win this game and cover.
Coach Vince, you on the same track?
Yeah, the Saints are playing better football. Obviously, they had a big win last week against Carolina, and let's ride that Saints train.
Yeah, I think it's the Saints here as well. Jets don't seem to be playing for much. Jets in that just same cycle of just what are they going to do? Is they have the right coach? Do they have the quarterback? It doesn't seem like they have the answers to anything over there. All right, starting to heat up a little bit. Not really. All right, we got the minute. So this is the part of the year where there's some people that are just out. And Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants are just out right now. Minnesota is favored by 2.5. It is at New York, over under 43.5. Coach Vince, do you have a feeling on this game?
Yeah, I have a huge feeling. If you're the Giants and you get beat by the Commanders last week, that's all I need to know. Take the Vikings in this one. And John's favorite quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, come on, 9. John, you going with 9?
I'm going to bet the Giants. And the reason I'm going to bet the Giants is because they were embarrassed at home last week. And, they've played some tough games this season. The one against Denver, they should have won. They had an upset here or there. I think that game was so embarrassing for them. I really think they come out and play better. And I'm not a J.J. McCarthy fan. I do like Jackson Dart. And look, I just think when you look at football, these are two lousy teams. You got Giants at home after just getting embarrassed by a really bad football team. I think they come out at home and win this game handily. So I like the Giants.
Brendan, Degenerates Unite. This is one of those games. What are we doing here?
Yeah, before I say my pick, John, we're going to need you to text us your address so we know where to send your JJ McCarthy jersey we all got for you for Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas from the Godzilla group, John.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. You can't bet the Giants. You can't bet the Giants. Minnesota is going to win this game easily. It's just the the Giants are just so bad. That's the only analysis I have.
All right, we're going 9 here, 2.5. I'm going with the Vikings as well. All right, moving on.
So I'm the only one that bet the Giants. So remember this next week. Write this down.
We will.
The only one that bet the Giants on this thing. I'm taking the 2.5. They're going to win the whole game. So all you guys are going to be eating crow.
Saxman has the Vikings too.
Well, that's right, even more reason. I'm going to double my bet in the Giants now.
Literally everybody listening probably has Minnesota.
Well, why are they only 2.5?
I don't know. Oh yeah, I mean,
Trent would have the Giants.
Yeah, you're probably right.
All right, man. So next game up. Oh, where we at? Oh, Tampa Bay Bucks at the Carolina Panthers.
Come on, man.
Last week, John, Panthers had everything. They were playing for everything last week, and of course, they can't take advantage of it. The line here is Tampa Bay by 3 at Carolina. Come on, these teams have been up. Hey, we thought Tampa Bay at the beginning of the year was the cream of the crop. Now they have been struggling. We have seen the Carolina Panthers show that they can be a pretty darn good team. Bryce Young might be the guy. Coach Vince, what do we think?
Yeah, I think these teams play each other twice in the next 3 weeks too. So even the loser of tomorrow still has hope. But with that said, at Carolina, and the way the Buccaneers have played of late, I'm taking the Panthers tomorrow.
Brendan, where are you going to go?
Man, who wants to win the division? Anybody? Tampa started off hot. They're starting to slide now. I don't trust them. I'm taking the Panthers.
They don't trust old Baker Mayfield. John, where do you feel in here?
Message for Atlanta Falcons football coach Raheem. Had you played Kirk Cousins from week 1, you win the division. Instead, you played Penix, who is not an NFL quarterback, going the way of Will Levis. Whatever, dude, your team, your loss. Cousins was there. Falcons would win this division. Look, I can't believe I'm getting the Panthers +3 at home against a team that is just losing every week. I mean, the Tampa Bay has gone downhill. The Charlotte, this is the biggest game they've had in Charlotte in years. I can't remember the last time they had a game this size. They got to go back to when they were, when they have a Jake Delomer or something, and they went to the Super Bowl years ago. This is a great game in Charlotte. I think the Panthers win this game and get a stranglehold on the division. I can't believe you're getting the Panthers +3 at home. Take the Panthers all day. They're going to win this game.
Oh, it sounds like John's bet of the week.
Yeah, well,
right
no,
there.
Titans are my number 1 bet. This is number 2.
That's true. Oh, and the next one, we're going up to the 4:00 games. This is a huge matchup. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Denver Broncos. Denver, man, they look for real. If Bo Nix plays well, they may be the team to beat in the AFC. I know we talked about Buffalo, but you cannot deny the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. Denver favored by 3.5 at Mile High. They always have an amazing home field advantage here. But Jacksonville looks good too, Coach Vince. Where are we going with this one?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought at the beginning of the year that you'd be talking about 2 of the top teams in the AFC, the Jaguars and the Broncos? I have not given the Broncos their just due this year, but I am this week. I think last week's win against the Packers was huge for them. And I think the Broncos, they have that number 1 seed in sight right now in the AFC. So look for the Broncos to cover on Sunday.
Brendan, something about when Denver has a good defense and they're one of the top teams in the AFC through history, that has been a recipe for success for them, and they seem to have that going on right now. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, both of these teams are very surprising this year. I mean, these are 2 teams that have struggled the last few years. Denver just looks so good this year. They just look so good this year. I'm taking Denver over Jacksonville, lay the 3.5.
John, can Trevor Lawrence finally get over the hump and have an insanely good signature win that propels his team on a deep playoff run? Where are you going?
To coin the words of my wife, Ann, the CEO of our company, who has built this company, here's her line to me. John, there's a fine line between stubborn and stupid. So I've been stubborn, but I'm not stupid. Broncos win easy. This team is for real. Good luck beating them at home. I don't think Jacksonville can stay in this game. I've not been a Denver believer. Fine line between stubborn and stupid, right? I've been stubborn. I'm not dumb. Denver -3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Denver as well. I think this is going to be one good game, though. And it all comes down to Bo Nix and his happy feet. If he plants his feet and looks good, they're good and they're unstoppable. But if he has a turnover or he gets a little bit cautious in the red zone, it's when they settle for those field goals sometimes because Nick's inexperience sometimes takes over. All right, let's move on.
Let me ask Vince. Vince, do you buy into Ann's line?
Oh, I think that's a great line. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a great line.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, right? So it's a great line. I mean, she comes up with a lot of stuff you really got to think about. There's a fine line between stubborn and stupid. It's really good.
We can do T-shirts with that.
with my picture on it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, here's a tosser. Here's a burn away game. Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta is favored by 3. Arizona has just been hapless all season. We thought they were catching some steam early on, but that did not take into effect. You bring up Kirk Cousins. I'm not going to do it justice. Go Google Kirk Cousins explain why there aren't 5,000-yard passers in the NFL anymore. He does a brilliant job explaining how the defenses have disguised their cover 2 formations, and now they have to go to the 5 progressions again. But to John's point, like, that's your dude. It's the guy you probably should have been starting all year. I know he's been franchised more than anyone in history. I know he's old or he's in his 30s, but it gives you a great option to win, and Atlanta seems to never be able to figure that out. Vince, where are you going with this game?
Yeah, I'm a big Kirk Cousins fan. Always have been. The Cardinals are getting Marvin Harrison back this week. But you know what? Marvin Harrison, he's underachieved. I mean, coming out of Ohio State, I thought he was going to be, I mean, you hate to say the next Jerry Rice, but, at that caliber of elite wide receiver, and he's never really done that. He's got the tools. But with that said, I think the Falcons are kind of feeling their oats now that they have a legitimate NFL quarterback behind center in Kirk Cousins. So take the Falcons in this one.
It's funny though, Brendan, are they playing for the future? Is the future Kirk Cousins? What are they playing for? Like, what is their motivation besides maybe just finishing the season off strong? What are you going to take here?
You want me to try to get in the head of the general manager and the coaches at the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, good God, this game just sounds awful. It just sounds terrible. That my version of hell would be this game just looping over and over again. If I had to make a pick, I would take the Falcons, but good Lord, would I sit and watch it? Hell no.
Sounds like after Brendan watches that, John, where are you going to?
This is definitely degenerate. This is definitely degenerate gambler mode right here. This is why they have 1-800-GAMBLER when you're betting this game, which I'm going to bet because I'm going to bet the Falcons because they're going to get Kirk Cousins has got something to prove. I've been a Kirk Cousins fan forever. I was a fan when he was on Washington. I was a fan when he was on Minnesota. I always thought he got a bad rap. And he couldn't win a big game, but there was a lot of surrounding circumstances. I'm a Cousins fan. Besides that, Vince, he's just a great guy, great Christian, just a great member of the community, just an outstanding individual. The kind of guy you want on your team, great in the locker room. I think Atlanta goes in there, wins this game. I think they're playing for something. They played a very spirited game last week against Tampa Bay. Of course, Cousins owned them. So, look, Arizona's done. I don't know what the hell they're doing this season, but they're done. I'm gonna take Atlanta minus the 3 in degenerate mode.
And I'm with you. It's okay,
John. I wonder if Bannon's watching now. You just proved it right with this pick.
He does watch this show, by the way.
It's tough. I mean, because this does look like a spread where Atlanta's going to win it. So it looks like the one you want to take.
Bannon keeps telling me to get out of the political business. Just get out. He said, just do a sports show. You're better than any of those guys on any other radio. Just do that. Just get out. And so we'll see what happens.
John Frederick Sports Network. I'm in.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Hey, Yeah, well, you know you got us.
Politics gets old. Okay, there's no question about it. By the time Friday comes, like I'm done. So it gets old. I
could agree.
Yeah.
No, this is a great outlet, to not talk about that stuff and have fun with some of the fun stuff.
Exactly.
It's a little heavy during the week right now. And sometimes you just got to relax. Sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes maybe get some slippers, pillows.
Yeah, baby, right here. I'm telling you.
And my pillow.
Here they are. I got them on my feet right now. Just came over to the studio, got out of bed, brushed my teeth, put my contacts in, boom, put my slippers on. I come right over. Why don't you have these slippers? These are the most comfortable things, and you can wear them outside. I got 3 pair. All right. One that is always in my suitcase when I travel, one for the house and the other one for the outside. So it's right in the closet. It's the best things that you could possibly get. Just go to mypillow.com. It's got all kinds of sales going on right now. These the My Pillow slippers, $39.98. Not only that, you get a free bottle of leather protectant spray. You can get the blankets, the comforters, the Devets for as low as $25. Blowout sale on My Pillow standard, $14.98. A little bit more for king and queen. And just check this out, man. And you still got time. If you order today, they'll get it there by Wednesday. So I got 3 days to get this stuff under the tree. Greatest sale ever. Just go to mypillow.com, promo code Godzilla, or give them a buzz, 800-854-0504. Killer Carl knows, 800-854-0504, promo code Godzilla. That's promo code Godzilla. Take advantage of these great prices now from My Pillow, their team, Mike Lindell, Dawn Curtis, everybody, a very Merry Christmas to the great My Pillow team. Thank you for being a founding sponsor of Godzilla Wins from the first show to today, however long we've been on the air. Mike Lindell, I told him my vision. He's like, okay, I'm in. And, been there ever since. Great people. And so go to mypillow.com, promo code Godzilla, or call 800-854-0504. And money back guarantee right through April 1st. Don't like it, send it back. You know how many people send this stuff back? Nobody. But if you want to, you can through April 1st. mypillow.com, promo code Godzilla. Thank you, Mike Lindell and Dawn Curtis, for all you do.
Listen to Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. We're going to move on to the game of the week. Well, maybe not. I mean, I've got all the Steelers stuff in the background. Brendan's got his Steelers stuff on right now. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. I had to take a double take. I honestly had to take a double take when I saw that the Steelers are underdogs by 7. Did they not watch this team last week just destroy the Miami Dolphins? Aaron Rodgers has all of his swag back. He's just rolling around, throwing just darts over to DK Metcalf. I don't like this 7-point spread. I am going to load up. I'm going to let you know I'm loading up the Pittsburgh Steelers with this. There's people saying they're not playing for much here because, ultimately if you beat Cleveland and you can beat Baltimore, win the division. But if the Steelers win this game and Baltimore loses the next 2 games, the Steelers could be sitting some starters even in the second to last week. Coach Vince, I'll let you start here. I'll let Brendan jump in there. I know he's got a lot of thoughts on this game, but Detroit is playing for their playoff lives. So are the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a really good matchup.
Yeah, it is. It's a great matchup. And I'll agree with you. I think this, aside from the Thursday night game, Rams and Seahawks, this very well could be the game of the weekend, so to speak. Yeah, the Lions have everything to play for here. They really do. I mean, if they lose, I believe they're out. And who would have thought that back in September? 7 points is a lot. I like the way the Steelers played the other night. I could see the Lions winning this game by a field goal. But with that said, I'm going to take the Steelers in this one.
Yeah, it's a big spread there, Brendan. Where are you going to go with this one? And we keep it real here. We rant. Renegade Rant is a lot of ranting. So when the Steelers are bad, Brendan's going to let you know. He doesn't sugarcoat.
You're painting me like I'm not a positive person here, Mitch.
You are very no, but I'm saying you're real. You're real.
No, I mean I understand why Detroit's favored. I understand they're at home and they, I get it. So it's probably a lot of the home crowd. But one thing they're not counting on is this really going to be much of a home game for Detroit? You know how us drunk Yinzers love to travel and wave our towels at away venues. I mean, I think Steeler Nation takes over the crowd. I think it's basically a home game for the Steelers inside Ford Field. I think the Steelers play off that energy. We come away with a win in Detroit on our way to winning the AFC North, Mitch.
I love this positivity. Money line Brendan sounds like right there. Just take the Steelers outright, John. What do you think?
I already bet Detroit -7 because I was afraid the line would go up.
Ooh.
Listen, you guys are playing well, all good, yay. I mean, we carry the Steelers across our network, so it's in my best interest when they win financially, get more advertising and all that good stuff, get more ratings. So good. But you're going to Detroit playing a team that is desperate. I don't like playing desperate. These people are desperate. They have got to win this game or they're eliminated from the playoffs. You guys are gonna win the division. You got a bunch of powder puffs coming up. You're coming off a big win on Monday night. Letdown city. You know, the Lions have lost what, 2 of their last 3. They've not looked good. They have to win this game. This is a very desperate team with their entire playoff chances. Their backs on the wall. I think they come out and they're going to be very, very tough to beat. And it's just not as meaningful of a game to the Steelers on the road. So I like Detroit here -7. I already made the bet.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. You're giving me +7 on that one. I just have this feeling that they're going to have this would be like a weird signature win. They don't necessarily need it, and that if they have that motivation going into that, it's going to go a long way. All right, I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to skip the Raiders and Texans game.
Wait, who
to the
did
last
Vince pick on the Steelers game?
I got the Steelers.
Okay, thank you.
Mitch,
So again,
can we sing the song?
we got 2 games where it's 3-1. Just so you guys know, Steelers, Detroit, and Washington and Giants. Somebody.
Oh yeah. Giants and Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota.
All right. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. New England Patriots at Baltimore Ravens. Us Steelers, Yinzers fans are going to be watching this. Every Bills fan is going to be watching. The Baltimore Ravens are favored by 3 points. That's a surprise spread to me, Coach Vince. Where do you think is going to happen here? This is in Baltimore.
Yeah, I think the Patriots blowing that 21-point lead last week is going to sit. You know, they're going to come out motivated this week. I see the Patriots laying a beat down on the Ravens.
All right, Brendan, what are you thinking?
I agree with Coach Vince. The Patriots are going to come into Baltimore and smack those dirty ratbirds around.
That's a weird spread, John. Baltimore favored by 3. Where are you thinking?
You know what? You guys are all over New England. They got exposed last week. It's another team that's played nobody. They finally play a good team. They get off to a pretty good start and then get blown out. I don't think they stopped Buffalo one time, right, in the second half after they were up 24-7. Couldn't stop them. Even a couple of their touchdowns were like long passes and guys falling down. Ravens are -3 here for a reason. Ravens go in, win this game. I'm going counter to you guys again. It's 3 games. I'm counter to all you guys. I'm taking the Ravens -3.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Vrabel doesn't have. I think a back-to-back, you lose the 21-point lead. I think he's going to have them ready here. You're not playing against Josh Allen. Lamar is just
the guy does not make second half adjustments. I mean, I know this guy.
It's Josh Allen
for 7 seasons in Tennessee. The games we lost in the second half and the fourth quarter, he doesn't make second half adjustments. He couldn't adjust to Buffalo in the second half. Same thing is going to happen here in Maryland. You're playing another very desperate team. Patriots are in the playoffs. Very desperate team. That's why I like the Ravens.
Come on, Patriots, do us good. I'm taking you +3. Come on, we need you, Steelers fans. Steelers Nations need you. Okay, Monday Night Football. It's the San Francisco 49ers at the Indianapolis Colts. Old man Rivers played really well against Seattle. San Francisco is only favored by 5.5 against a 44-year-old quarterback. That shot puts it out of his arm, barely can get it down 10 yards down the field. Coach Vince, what are we doing here?
Robert Saleh is going to put 8 men in the box on Monday night and force Rivers to beat him. And I think that's the secret sauce right here. You stop the run and you make Phillip Rivers beat you.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have Jonathan Taylor go off. So, yeah, I like what Coach Vince is saying here. Brendan, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't feel confident in Phillip Rivers right now to beat the 49ers. I think this is going to be a pretty decisive victory for San Francisco.
Yeah, I know that spread seems a little wonky, John. What are you thinking
Well,
here?
here's what I'm going to do. I got a lot of games to bet between now and Monday night. If I have any money left, whatever is left, and I have a gambling stipend that my wife gives me that when I'm out, I can't go over it. So whatever is remaining of my stipend, I am betting on San Francisco because I agree with Vince. They're going to put 8 in the box, and they're going to have to make this 50-year-old grandfather throw downfield, and it is going to be ugly. Niners minus 5.5.
I love knowing that I have a guaranteed get back game if I get shellacked all weekend long.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Throw
saying.
it all on San Francisco. Degenerates unite. Do whatever you want this weekend. You can get it all back on Monday night.
I love you.
Oh.
You have figured it out. You can get it all back on Monday night, so you're good.
There's nothing we can do. You listen to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler. First hour was college. Second hour was NFL. This next hour is the Jay Delsing Golf Show. It's amazing. It's fun. Please stay tuned. We'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We got to have a website, degeneratesunite.com.